Hey there, Crash Course viewers! Welcome back to another exciting episode. Today we're taking a nostalgic trip down memory lane to the era of dial-up internet and the birth of social media. Remember those days when connecting to the internet meant listening to that iconic dial-up sound? Before Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok became household names and dominated our daily lives, there was a little something called MySpace. It was the pioneer of social networking. Launched in 2003, MySpace was like the Wild West of social networking. It was a new, uncharted territory where anything seemed possible. It was a digital frontier where people could connect with friends, share their thoughts, and express themselves in ways they never could before. Customizing your profile with music, backgrounds, and personal touches was all the rage. It was a time of experimentation and innovation, and MySpace was at the forefront of it all. Users were not just consumers, they were creators, coding their profiles and pushing the boundaries of what social media could be. So, buckle up, because we're about to dive deep into the rise and fall of MySpace, a platform that defined a generation and paved the way for the social media landscape we know today. Let's go on this fascinating journey together. MySpace wasn't built in a day. It all started with Tom Anderson, the man behind those iconic friend requests, and Chris DeWolf. They saw the potential of connecting people online and ran with it. Early on, MySpace was all about freedom and customization. Users could design their profiles with wild backgrounds, custom cursors, and of course, auto-playing music. Remember that friend whose profile blasted heavy metal the second you landed on it? Good times. This level of personalization was unheard of at the time, and it quickly made MySpace the place to be for teenagers and young adults. It was like having your own little corner of the internet, and people went all out decorating it. What truly set MySpace apart was its emphasis on individual expression. Users could tinker with HTML and CSS to create truly unique profiles. Remember those blinking text greetings and sparkling animated GIFs? Pure artistry. MySpace was a haven for creativity, a digital canvas where users could showcase their personalities, passions, and questionable design choices. It was a far cry from the sleek, uniform profiles we see on social media today. This freedom of expression was a huge draw for musicians, artists, and anyone who wanted to stand out from the crowd. MySpace wasn't just about connecting with friends, it was about building your own online identity. Let's be real. No conversation about MySpace is complete without mentioning the legendary Top 8 Friends section. Ah, the drama, the intrigue, the countless friendships ruined over a coveted spot in someone's top 8. It was the ultimate social currency. And who could forget those glittery animated GIFs that adorned every profile? From dancing bananas to flashing hearts, these GIFs were the epitome of early 2000s internet culture. They were tacky, they were excessive, and we absolutely loved them. MySpace was a melting pot of creativity, awkwardness, and a healthy dose of digital bling. It was a reflection of our younger selves, and looking back, it's hard not to crack a smile at the sheer audacity of it all. MySpace, the soundtrack of a generation. By 2005, MySpace was not just another social media platform, it was a cultural revolution. A digital playground where millions of users connected, shared, and discovered new music. It had more users than Facebook and was a driving force in popular culture, influencing trends and shaping online interactions. Remember when everyone had that little MySpace music player on their profiles? It was a badge of honor, a way to showcase your unique taste in music. Bands, both big and small, flocked to MySpace to connect with fans and share their music. It was a direct line to their audience, bypassing traditional media channels. It became a launchpad for countless artists, including Arctic Monkeys, Lily Allen, and Panic! At the Disco, who used the platform to build a following and break into the mainstream. These artists found their voices and their audiences on MySpace. MySpace was more than just a social network, it was a cultural phenomenon that shaped the music industry and gave a voice to a new generation of artists. It democratized music discovery, allowing anyone with an internet connection to find and support new talent. It was a time when you could discover your next favorite band just by browsing your friends' profiles. Those were the days. The excitement of finding a hidden gem, a band that spoke to you, was unparalleled. MySpace truly was the soundtrack of a generation. The Facebook factor, but as they say, all good things must come to an end. By the late 2000s, MySpace's reign as the king of social media was coming to a close. A new player had entered the game, Facebook. Facebook offered a cleaner, more streamlined user experience that appealed to a wider audience. While MySpace was all about customization and self-expression, Facebook focused on connecting with friends and family in a more straightforward way. It was a classic case of out with the old, in with the new, and slowly but surely people began migrating from MySpace to Facebook. A sea of clutter and pop-ups. To be fair, Facebook wasn't the only reason for MySpace's decline. MySpace itself made some missteps along the way. Remember those annoying pop-up ads that seemed to follow you everywhere? Or how about the increasingly cluttered and confusing user interface? As MySpace grew, it became a victim of its own success. The platform became overloaded with features, ads, and let's be honest, some pretty questionable design choices. It was like trying to find a needle in a haystack of flashing banners and auto-playing music. This overwhelming user experience drove many users away, sending them straight into the open arms of the much cleaner and simpler Facebook. Section 8. Two visions of social networking. The battle between MySpace and Facebook wasn't just about features and design, it was a clash of two different philosophies. MySpace was all about standing out, expressing your individuality, and embracing the chaos. Facebook, on the other hand, was about fitting in, presenting a polished image, and connecting with people you already knew in real life. It was the difference between a wild house party and a family barbecue. In the end, Facebook's more mainstream approach won out, and MySpace was left to lick its wounds and figure out its next move. Section 9. Reinventing MySpace Mission Impossible. After being acquired by Specific Media in 2011, MySpace underwent a series of makeovers in an attempt to recapture its former glory. It tried to rebrand itself as a music-focused platform, partnering with Justin Timberlake and emphasizing artist discovery. While these efforts had some success, they couldn't quite replicate the magic of MySpace's golden age. The social media landscape had changed too much, and Facebook had a stranglehold on the market that seemed impossible to break. MySpace's story is a cautionary tale of the fickle nature of the tech world. What was once a revolutionary platform became a relic of the past, a reminder that even the most popular websites can fall from grace. Section 10. A blast from the past. So, where does MySpace stand today? Well, it still exists, albeit in a much smaller and niche form. It's primarily a platform for musicians and music lovers, a far cry from its days as the social media giant. Every now and then you might stumble upon an article about someone rediscovering their old MySpace profile, filled with embarrassing photos and cringe-worthy status updates. It's a fun trip down memory lane, a reminder of how far we've come since the early days of social media. MySpace might not be the powerhouse it once was, but it still holds a special place in the hearts of many who grew up with it. Section 11. MySpace's enduring legacy. Looking back, MySpace's legacy is a complex one. It was more than just a website. It was a cultural phenomenon that defined an era. It was a pioneer in the social media world, a platform that empowered users to connect and express themselves in unprecedented ways. Users could customize their profiles with unique backgrounds, music, and personal blogs, making each page a reflection of their personality. It gave birth to countless memes, trends, and of course some truly questionable fashion choices. From the rise of emo culture to the spread of viral videos, MySpace was at the heart of it all. While MySpace may have faded from the spotlight, its impact on the internet and popular culture is undeniable. It was a breeding ground for new music, helping to launch the careers of many artists who are now household names. It paved the way for the social media giants we know today, teaching us valuable lessons about the power of online communities, the importance of user experience, and the ever-evolving nature of the internet. MySpace's rise and fall provided a blueprint for future platforms, showing what worked and what didn't. So, the next time you scroll through your Facebook feed or post a perfectly filtered Instagram photo, take a moment to remember MySpace, the OG social network that started it all. It was a place where friendships were formed, creativity was unleashed, and the seeds of today's digital culture were planted. It was a wild, weird, and wonderful time, and we're all a little bit shaped by our experiences on that glittery, chaotic platform. The freedom to express oneself in such a personalized way was revolutionary and set the stage for the diverse online expressions we see today. That's it for this episode of Crash Course Internet History. We hope you enjoyed this nostalgic trip down memory lane and gained a deeper appreciation for the platforms that paved the way for our current digital landscape. Until next time, stay curious. Keep exploring the fascinating history of the internet and how it continues to shape our world.